Bojo and Ninoe Maganadog. Kizakin. Minokiskat. How are you today? It is the 31st of July, and I am going to post this video, and then starting tomorrow I am going to be on a social media fast until the 7th of August, and we'll see if if I come back after that. And hopefully you can take a break as well and be able to get your bearings in life again. I had a very interesting conversation with a young woman this evening, and it was great being able to just chat and get to know her and get to know a little bit more about her and kind of like, philosophize and discuss our views of the world, which were similar but also different, and it was amazing. And one of the things that we ended up talking about was the concept of reclaiming our power. And we got into a really interesting discussion, and I was trying to explain to her the difference between power and force, which I always get a little sideways about. But what we were talking about was saying, okay, listen, we have sovereign power, and it has been taken away from us very covertly. And what's happening now, I think, is more people are waking up and realizing that they want to have their power back. And so they are choosing to not buy in or give power back to these people who've been siphoning it from us. And then we do that using our life force. And one of the things that I had kind of conjured up as a saying for this channel, Grace is Your Superpower, is use your grace like a Jedi uses the Force, because your grace is the Force, and your force is what helps you to keep your power, bring your power back in to your being and use it wisely. So she and I were talking about that, and then I was scrolling through social media while I was having an adult beverage in this cute little Texas town. I'm gonna butcher the name, probably Waxahachie. And as I'm scrolling through social media, lo and behold, there are people talking about reclaiming our collective power, and refusing to allow it to be siphoned off by whatever means have been used in the past to siphon it off. And I'm going to let you judge to decide what you think those pathways have been for siphoning away our power. But the other thing that I wanted to be sure and bring to your attention, I've been seeing a lot of posts about people who have been reading Robin Wall Kimmerer's Braiding Sweetgrass. And I highly recommend that book. It is an amazing book to help you to see our lives through a completely different lens, and it will give you plenty to think about. After I read Braiding Sweetgrass, I couldn't get enough of her work, so I then went and bought Gathering Moss, and I consider Gathering Moss one of the most life-changing books for me. It shifted my perception on how I view life and how, well, actually, I don't know that it shifted, because when I was a little girl, I'll tell the story. When I was a little girl, I remember my parents were trying to buy this piece of property in Salina, Oklahoma. And we would go out to the property Sorry, I can't get comfortable here. We would go out to the property on the weekends and just hang out. And one of my favorite things to do was to gather moss. And I would take it home and I would put it in a little cup in my window. And of course it died. And I was always really sad that my moss had died. So I've always been a big, I've always had an attunement with nature. And what gathering moss taught me is the resilience and the life force that exists in moss, and how amazingly beautiful it is as a life force in our world. So yeah, if you haven't yet heard of Robin Wall Kimmerer's Braiding Sweetgrass, please go read it. I think the more people in the collective who read it, the more we are going to see that shift. We're going to see our ability to reclaim our power, accelerate, and yeah, also do gathering moss. It's amazing. I am headed back home tomorrow. Very excited to be headed back home. I've had a great time here in Texas, learning, working, getting to know my teammates down here a little better. And but I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home and get out of this heat. Lord have mercy. It has been so hot. But you know, it's so funny because the other night I went out to Mineral Wells, and when I told my colleagues, I was like, yeah, I just went out to Mineral Wells. And they're like, oh, do you have family out there? No, I just wanted to go take a little road trip, not too far. Like, to go to Austin was too far. But I chose some little town, and I had forgotten that my sister-in-law had told me about, and my brother had told me about Mineral Wells, because they have natural lithium in their water, and they told me about the crazy water like a few years ago. But I go to Mineral Wells, and I'm hanging out in town, and it's beautiful. It's this cute little, quaint little town. I went to Grapevine, hung out in Grapevine. What a cute little town that is. And then today I was like, you know, I want to go out to Waxahachie for a couple of reasons. One, they have a beautiful courthouse that, you know, is worthy of a visit. And then they also have, I guess they're the crepe myrtle capital of Texas, maybe? I don't know if it's the world, I don't remember. But crepe myrtles were my mother's favorite tree. And so I wanted to get out there. I went out there. It was great. I got out there too late. I'm going to have to go back in the morning to spend some time in the with the crepe myrtles and to get some good pictures of the courthouse. But I've had a good time. It's been very hot. I've had the opportunity to listen to the cicadas, to hear the birds' songs, to see a beautiful blue jay feather lying on the ground, to watch the cardinals flitting from tree to tree, the squirrels that would catch my eye. I've had a good time, you know, connecting with the land and the people here. So, yeah, reclaim your power. Shift your attention away from these methods that have been slowly but surely siphoning off our power so covertly that we haven't realized that our power has been extracted, co-opted, and has been used for nefarious purposes. Let's get our power back. Let's remember that our power is tied to our force, and we can use our grace like a Jedi uses the force. So let's pull a card, a Michael card. Let's see what Michael has to say. I'm just going to pull one card from each deck. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't expect this one, but okay. You're ready for more. Your career is blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. Well, actually, if you took out the word career, yeah, that would make sense. Now is the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. Now is the time to reclaim our power. Okay, thank you, Michael. That was great. And then let's pull this one from the activations, Gateway of Active Light activations, and see what that card is for us. I really like this one. This is Akashic Stargate. Aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. Where I think this makes the most sense for us is a couple of days ago I did a video where I was talking about how we're all called to be leaders, that each one of us is being called to step into a leadership role. And however you choose to reclaim your power and to step into your leadership is the right way. There is no wrong path. No wrong path. You are aligned with purpose, and our crossroads are in front of us. Yeah, I love that card. It's actually very multiverse. Okay. I took some more cloud pictures while I'm down here. I've just really been enamored by the clouds. That's interesting. That have been showing up for us here in Texas. Rest. Yeah, remember, if you watched my video the other day, I talked about how as a collective, there are going to be times where we're going to be on the front lines of something, and we're going to be like really deeply in some kind of situation where we have to stand up for people. We're going to be right there on the front lines, but then we have to move back and find our rest and let the next cohort of folks step forward, come from their rest and step forward. And so we're going to switch that out. And I think it's really important that we talk about rest right now, because the attempts to keep us disoriented and destabilized in our own energy are ramping up. So be sure you get your rest. Go spend time with a tree. Go spend time with the water, and give yourself that opportunity to reconnect and remember your power and remember your force. Remember your power to your soul. Remember your force to your soul. So yeah, it's late and it's been a long day, but I did want to make this video, and I hope that you're well. Please let me know what you thought about this video. I'm interested in hearing if you are also seeing these things happening. If you pick up or have read Braiding Sweetgrass, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. What was your favorite part? There's a lot to have as favorites, so let me know. And yeah, please like. And if you are new here, I would really enjoy having you as a subscriber. And yeah, definitely if you want to know more about the Sophia of the Oracle Cloud, Sophia of the Clouds Oracle deck, let me know. My next delivery of 10 decks should be here around August 16th. So yeah, Bama P, rest well. Next video, let's hear what you have to say.